Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on something relatively simple, but it's something that I'll give credit where credit's due. Randee Brown from Thunderhorse Descendant showed me how to do this. We're going to use some memory wire and we're going to make a suncatcher. Now, like I say, Randee taught me how to make this. I have used memory wire for bracelets, necklaces, Barbie jewelry, but I had never made it a suncatcher with one. So this will be sort of new for us. So we're going to turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. As I mentioned, this is relatively simple. I've got all kinds of beads here. What I'm going to do, here's our crystal for the bottom. Isn't that pretty? These crystals are going to be interspersed throughout it. So we have all kinds of crystals for catching our sun. And what we need to do is we need to get a length of our memory wire out. And we've got to decide how many spirals we want. I'm thinking about right here. So we'll get our memory wire cutters out. We'll cut our wire right here. Put the rest of it aside that we're not going to use. And then the first thing, of course, you want to do with any memory wire piece is to wrap a loop at the one end. And that's because you don't want your beads to fall off while you're working. So we will take our round nose pliers and we're going to go right in here and we're just going to start wrapping. And now I like to do more than one wrap around with memory wire. Usually I do two. It makes it like a split ring. So there we go. And speaking of split rings, that's what we're going to use for a holder, is a split ring. So we'll put this split ring on that loop we just made. Or the loop on the split ring, however you want to call it. So there's that. Now we're just going to start feeding beads. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do 5 seed beads, then a crystal, 5 more seed beads, and one of our big India glass pieces. So let's see how that looks right off the bat. That seed bead's a little tight on there. That's weird. Okay, so there's 5 seed beads. I'm using a cream, a 6/0 seed bead. Oop, come here, you. I need the end. Then we're going to get one of these washer spacers, a crystal, washer spacer, 5 more seed beads. Now, when I'm doing seed beads, I like to just feed them on like this if it'll let me, because it's a little easier, in my opinion, than trying to do them feed them like you would on a beading wire. So there's our 5 more. Come on, go all the way down. Oh, what fun. Okay, so are you all the way down? Some of you are, not all of you. Let's go. Okay, so there is our top piece. So this is our what the first bit's going to look like. And then we're going to put on another washer spacer. And then just grab one of these India glass beads. And hopefully these are have big enough hole that they'll feed around our wire all right. Sometimes they don't. This one is being a little difficult, but it is going. There we go. And now we want our other washer spacer, and I've got to find the end because I just twisted it all up there. There we go. Here it is. Next washer spacer. And then 5 seed beads. And we're just going to keep up this pattern with 5 seed beads, washer spacer, crystal, washer spacer, 5 seed beads, washer spacer, and then an India glass. There's the 5 seed beads, washer spacer. Now I'm adding these other crystals in here because they add a little, the faceted crystals make the rainbows, and the more I have in there, the more rainbows we're going to have. So there we go. Now 5 more seed beads. 2, 3, 4, and whichever, 5. Now it's another India glass. So, like I said, just reach into the pile, grab one, and we'll feed it on. And another washer spacer. We'll just feed this all through down at the same time. The India glass is got a big enough hole that it feeds all right, but it is a little tight, so that's why I'm pushing them all down here right now. Come on, baby, keep going. Though the green one decided it's not so tight because it's just pulled around to join us here. The other washer spacer's still up there. We can bring it down and around to join the blue one here. Come on, go join the blue one. Go that direction. So, bing. The only thing about memory wire is its memory is very good and it wants to keep it that way. There we go, all the way down there. Bring this one all the way down here. And our little seed washer spacers up at the top still, but that's all right. So here's how it's going to look, and as the things go on it, when you hold it, your crystal's going to be down here at the bottom, adding some weight, so it's going to pull it apart like so, which is going to be pretty. So 5 more seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and oops, that's 3 now. 4 fell off. 4 and 5. Washer spacer, crystal, washer spacer. Now, I didn't measure this, as you know, because when I cut it off, I just put it on. I just eyeballed it. And to me, that's the easiest way, unless I need a really accurate measurement. Like if I'm doing the circlets or something, I'll want to get in the middle, so I will be more accurate with my measurements on those, but in general, I don't. Take this blue. Well, we have blue last. How about we go with this purpley colored one, which appears to have something in the hole. Let's see if I can knock it out. There it goes. Goes on, and now I'm just going to go back to my seed beads. I could push this down like so, but again, we're just going seed beads, 5 seed beads, spacer, crystal, 5 seed beads, spacer, then the 5 crystals, and then there's our spacers. Our seed beads. Here's our spacer, our crystal, spacer, whoop, and 5 seed beads again. 2, 3, 4, and 5. A spacer, and it looks like I'll probably have to get more spacers out, and that's fine. So I think we're now at our next India glass. I think we'll go with, come on, I don't want you twisting into yourself. Get out of there. This green and blue one here, because I think it's pretty cool looking. Oh, this one. Oh, there we go. I was beginning to think that one wasn't going to go on, which was going to upset me. So now spacer again. And back to our pattern of 5 seed beads, spacer, crystal spacer, 5 seed beads. Now I think we'll go with this guy right here. The heck, that was weird. Has something inside here. Almost looks like, it almost looks like when they reamed it out, it didn't come out. That's all right. It can just stay in there. Now I need to get some more spacers out. I think we'll put this one on now. I think they sometimes, India glass has a powder inside it, and I sometimes think they... Oh. Now I think I'm going to need to get some more seed beads out. Not very many because we don't have much room left, and we do need to have some room for wrapping. So I may just do the 5 on this side. We'll see. Mainly because I also would need another crystal out. So we'll see what the 5 looks like. There's the 5. And I think that's as tight as we can get as long as it's all rolled down. So let's make sure it is. All the way to the end. Yes, it is. It seems to be anyway. So now what we're going to do is, well, we don't need these, so we can put them aside. And now we're going to go on to our next step, which is to roll this end, and then we'll put our crystal on the end. So we'll take our pliers. I actually should have made a slightly bigger hole down here because see how snug this is on this? I don't really want it that snug. I may switch make this a bigger hole up here and switch the crystal for down there and the ring for up here if I can get a nice big hole up here, which it does appear to be bigger. See, I've got it bigger here. Now, if you wanted, you could take this and do that. And so now we got this hanger here. Bing. And I do think I'm going to switch this because it does, see how it doesn't want to move at all. And I want it to be able to be mobile there. So we're going to put the crystal on this end. And I am going to twist this so it's a little bit twisted, so it's more even to the wires. Now we're going to put this back on, but we're going to put it on the other side here where I made a bigger loop at. So I always open these with my thumbnail. I do have a pair of split ring pliers that I never use. So anyway, so there is that. And then we'll put the crystal down here on the bottom. And the crystal is on a jump ring. So I'm just going to open this jump ring up. And hopefully this crystal has enough weight to keep this pulled down. If it doesn't, we can always get a bigger crystal. I do have bigger crystals. So it is now finished, as long as the crystal gives us a little bit of pull. And it could pull a little more. The top is actually pulled more than the bottom is, but it still looks cool. Okay, so we are finished. Over time, this little crystal will, the weight of it will pull down the strand some more, but looks like a little whirligig right now. So here we go with our little sun catcher. Like I said, with time, the weight of the crystal and the weight of itself will pull some of the spirals out of here so that they look more evened out. This looks a little more at the top than, you know, pulled down than at the bottom, but I think it's very pretty. Like I say, as it hangs, it will start to relax some. Because the weight of the crystal will pull it down. And if you wanted a bigger crystal, you could. I do have bigger crystals, but I didn't locate one before I started this today, so we'll just use this smaller one. A larger one will, of course, pull it down faster. But isn't that pretty? Like I say, you can use anything to make these. You just need a little length of memory wire, a ring to hold it at the top, and any beads you want. And your bead soup will work perfectly for things like this. So, isn't that pretty? Anyway, as I said, Randee Brown from Thunderhorse Descendant showed me how to make these, and I think it's gorgeous. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden.